Greetings, I'm Demonac, and it's arena time. Well, we've reached the fork. So things could be going worse for sure. I'm wondering if I actually have a little bit too much in the way of minion buffs. 3 Blessing of Kings and 2 Avenge, those are a lot of things that don't really help me if I don't have a minion out. I'm not counting the bubble guys in that, because the guys who give bubbles are like the man. In fact, since I only have 1 Consecrate, they're arguably a better combo for my equality than anything else I've got. There are 3 of them, and only 1 Consecrate. But yeah, if I can get minions out and have them stay alive, then this stuff should be okay. But there is a problem of canny opponents just keeping me from having a 1/1 alive and me not being able to do anything much. This is a lot of 4-cost hand. I'm going to get rid of the Blessing and the Consecration. I'm going to keep the Dark Iron so I at least have something to do. But I'm hoping for some cheaper minions. And so not getting them. Okay. Divine Favor. That does not combo well with the hand of way too expensive. Anyway. So what are you doing? You have a decisive advantage, you just don't know it yet. As long as your deck is reasonably fast, you can rush the crap out of me with this hand. This player is not rushing at all, in the metaphorical sense. Anyhow, someone in the comments seemed to think that I shouldn't have taken even 1 Divine Favor, that I should take a Kodo instead. They were generally in favor of fat drafting, and most of the things they said were totally valid, although I feel like you have to make some of those decisions based on the actual deck that you have been handed up to that point, but still. I think that having a single Divine Favor is a really big combat chance, even if it's prone to failure sometimes. So you probably stab my 1/1 and just hit me for 2. Unless you have another good minion to play, in which case you can start, like, beating me down, and I'm not going to be able to do much about it. Still, if you do play another good minion, you need to use this and kill this guy, probably. Or I might be able to do something stupid and recover. Meanwhile, this person seems intent on timing me out. It's not like I'm trying to play some games while cooking stuff in the oven. Anyhow. Is it just me, or the more videos do I record, the more do I start mugging for the camera? I've been watching too much Briarstone or something. So, that is the obvious play. Does not make me happy, but it doesn't, like, ruin my day either. Okay, well, Tauren Warrior it is. You can obviously dispense with my Tauren Warrior by stab then hit, or hit then stab and take a lot of damage. I'm guessing a backstab or something is going to come in so that you don't have to stab it and take 5. Wow, you would rather take 5 than lose this. Which may be the right choice, because I would have bubbled him and kept him going, but I don't know. Yeti time. So they can kill the Yeti, and fairly efficiently. But I felt I should save his buff just in case. Okay, that sucks. This is what happens when my hand is way too slow. Way too slow. Throw out the 1/1 with Avenge and Bubble? That seems like pretty silly. How is it actually going to math out? It's not going to math out well for Avenge. Avenge would turn a 1/1 into a 4/3. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to work out very well. On the other hand, there's not a whole lot else I can do that will work out much better at this point. I'm going to start taking a horrendous amount of damage very soon. I don't know if I want to waste my bubble on this thing. I don't have a better plan, though. I want to get some guys out. Some of these are fragile. And with this setup, she might end up trading a decent amount of her army to kill mine. Or she might just hit me for 1 billion damage. If she just plays one 5-cost card, I might actually be able to get some Divine Favor going. Owl coming? That was not her plan, I guess. I don't know.
My eyes are open.
Heal self, okay. And you're going to... Eviscerate. Okay. That hurt, but it could have been worse. So I could consecrate and kill most of her army. Or I could just play the Boulder Fist Ogre. But she has like these two can kill the Boulder Fist, so that's not really a very good deal by comparison. I don't think I have a lot of other options to analyze. I think that's pretty clearly the best play right now. Although that's my one and only consecrate. Not seeing a lot of chance of a good divine favor anytime soon, but I still have stuff to cast, that's for sure. So she's not stabbing this guy. She's going to let him live because she, of course, has it protected with taunt. I can't afford to do both of these guys, unfortunately. So I could play the questing, and then Dark Iron Dwarf, buff this, hit that for 3. So she'd have a 3-1 and a 3-3 taunt. I would have a 3-3 and a 4-4. Yeah.
I wonder.
I could play the Questing Adventurer, turn this guy into a 5-5 and hit that, and then he'd still be like fragile and easily killable, and so would this guy, and it probably wouldn't work out that great. So I think I'm just going to go with plan Boulder Fist. And hope she doesn't have an Assassinate. I'm not going to attack that for 1, because this guy might have some utility. He might just get stabbed, which would be fine. But it's unlikely she's going to buff him for 1. The Assassinate was less unlikely. Assassinate and an army. Awesome. This is not going well. I don't have a lot of recovery plans for this. I guess now I could make the Questing Adventurer huge. He'd be a 7-7. But that would be putting all my eggs in one basket. On the other hand, if I play him and then Dark Iron him, waste Dark Iron's power, I don't really care about the wasting it so much. But a 4-4 and a 3-3 out there, and meanwhile I'm going to take at least 10 damage. So she certainly could finish me if she has the right stuff in her hand. Does having a 7-7 really help me? Because next turn, what does he do? He kills that. That's it. Can't split it up any better than that. Oh boy. Methinks I'd be screwed. If I had 1 more mana, I could get her to 1-1 as well. There'd be a higher chance of something being alive to Blessing of Kings. But I just have too many Blessing of Kings type things. I think I'm going to go with the smaller guys, even though it's not good. If something were alive, it can still get Blessing of Kings and kill that. So I'd be in the same place. If nothing survives, then she probably spent less attacks on me, so I might have some hit points. That's not great. Boom, boom, hit me for 5. Still have a lethal army out there. No, you'd rather keep your taunt up. Interesting. Just worried about a charge, I guess. I think that equality may be a little late. I can't even divine favor for 1, so...
Reporting for duty.
It's basically irrelevant because I'm dead, but... Yeah. We have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage. She doesn't even have to do anything. Just attack. So, boo! Bloodied already. You could tell from that starting hand it wasn't going to go well. Apparently I should have thrown away the Dark Iron Dwarf too, but I was worried I would get more like what I had at the end, like double Blessing of Kings. Well, at least it wasn't a mage. So, this could be a short run. I don't know, I feel like this could be a good deck. Maybe it doesn't have enough of the cheap stuff. It certainly tends to get these, like... Well, okay, I don't remember the previous games that well. It's been a couple days have passed, but... I feel like it does have a high chance of getting a sort of 4-blocked starting hand, which is not so bad if you're going second. It's actually worse if you're going first. You have fewer cards. If you're going second and you've got a bunch of 4s in there, you can at least use the coin to get out a 4 on turn 3. You can play another one on turn 4, another one on turn 5. That's some decent pace you got going there. So these are not starting hand stuff at all. 3-cost guys we like. We have a couple options. We've got an Avenge. Which I can play early. Like, there's basically no drawback because it won't waste itself. The drawback is, well, there's a huge drawback. The drawback is you can't control the situation at all. It's going to go off whenever you have 2 minions out and 1 dies. 2 or more minions out. But putting it out does leave the opponent wondering if it's a noble sacrifice. It doesn't really leave them wondering if it's the reduced toughness to 1 when you play a minion thing, because that thing is a piece of crap, and even if you had one, you wouldn't want to play it early, you'd want to play it later. Although I guess it would be pretty good against that. But no. We're going to... I think we're going to coin out the Demolisher. Because if he doesn't have something in his hand to make that, to silence this, then this guy will do okay. If he does have something to give it taunt, this is still going to do something without having to suicide itself. And if this takes a little damage from something, protecting it with the taunt guy might work out okay vis-a-vis Avenge. That's right, I say vis-a-vis. Because I like the Architect in the Matrix. You all hate him, and you're wrong. Well, he definitely gave it taunt. We're going to start chipping away at it very, very slowly. Or soon I could turn this into a huge thing, but it would still take a lot of damage from that. So no, we don't really like that solution. We're just going to play Tonto here. So now he doesn't want a Kung Fu or anything. It's not ideal. Missing the guys, also not ideal. So I could Blessing of Kings one of these guys. This would be a 5-8. This would be a 6-7. So neither one of them is big enough to kill that in one go. 6-7, he'd take 4 damage, so he'd be down to a 6-3, which would make him fragile, and I don't like that. But he wouldn't be a 6-3, of course, because he'd enrage up to like a 9-3, and then he'd just get killed by an orc. So that doesn't help too much. I could Blessing of Kings this. Turn it into, again, a 5-8. It would hit that, not kill it, although it would have the chance to kill that in one shot. He would kill this. His guy would just take a little damage he doesn't care about too much. Or I could just play the Violet Teacher. And then when I at least Blessing of Kings things, I would get something out of it. Let's hold on for now.
Pay attention, class.
Not ideal, but we'll see what happens. We'll see who gets the avenge for one thing. Okay. You can do that. That's not great. Because he's still going to have the +2 attack on the orc to kill whoever gets the avenge. Okay, unless she's slightly too big. Okay. 7 plus 4, 11 minus 4, still 7. So, yeah. Apparently math still works. Hulk. Smash.
I'm ready to learn. Instructions begin.
Now comes the silence. This would be a good time for one of those crazy druid silences. Not that he's in any danger, it's just like, well, okay, he's in danger, I've got a 10-7. He does have to deal with it in some kind of fashion. But if he trades this guy and, like, Wrath or something, if he can find any way to just get rid of this now, then it's okay. Because the rest of my army is garbage, and I've got fewer cards, it'll even out. Nobody's lost a lot of hit points yet, that's for sure. I have some pretty good stuff in my hand. Trying to decide whether or not to naturalize this, or is he doing what I'm pretty sure I should always do, which is not take the naturalizes. Although again, it's always in the arena, you're like especially if it's a card that you don't want, it'll give you like 1,000,000 copies, right? If you ended up with 6 naturalizes in your deck, I wonder how often that would work out. I mean, you'd be like losing horrendous card advantage, but at some point you're only going to blow up things that are worth blowing up, right? So, alright, we can Hulk this out further. I think that's a little bit ridiculous. I'd rather take 4 damage myself and just trade the Worgen to finish that. So, let's do it that way.
First.
Yes, I'm wasting some of the healing from this, but that's okay. Lets me hit for 10, not keep all my eggs in one basket. I still have this available for the next one. I can Blessing of Kings any of these guys if they don't get AoE'd down or something. And of course, I can just play a Boulder Fist if that works better. But he has to do something significant. If he can't kill this, I wouldn't have a hard time getting to lethal damage next turn. That'll slow me down. Although it will give me a free thing. Now, okay, first I have to figure out if there's a way I can win this. So, if for example I hit that for 4, Blessing of Kings one of these guys, that's not going to work, although it'll give me a free guy, and I can hit for like 11. Now he'll draw a card from this dying, which is not ideal. There's also not the end of the world, I don't think. If I just kill that with her, she'd be down to 1, which would be pretty miserable, although he can't Kung Fu her without taking 1,000,000 damage. At that point, one of these guys could grow up, kill that, also go down to 1. That's no good. I'd be better off just killing that myself at that point. That may be the best solution. It's hard to say. Like, if I Blessing, I've got one guy that's going to be at more health, then I don't have a good way to kill that. Oh. Or my opponent will leave. Well, let's see what I would have got. Or not. Sorry I'm so slow. I wonder if that was a disconnect or if they were just, like, demoralized. Because, I don't know, that game wasn't over. I was in a pretty commanding place. Maybe their hand was horrible or something, but Not very satisfying, but we got up to 3 wins, so at least it's going to be a revenue neutral arena. Well, not revenue neutral. I'm going to lose gold on it unless I get some real wins that kicked in there. But, you know, breaking even in the wins and losses is not bad, but we're going to try and do better next time.
If you like this, please click the eponymous button. And don't forget to subscribe to Demonac Games for more Hearthstone Arena and other gaming videos.